California Love Business Recommendation Tool.
You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network.
Fabulous.
Live every Sunday, the very latest food, beverage, and travel trends.
Amazing.
Now here's the host of our show, Mr. Randall White.
And a very, very good Sunday Funday morning, everyone. On this terrific, February 17th. I had to think about it. Yes, February 17th. Yes. I'm your host, Randall White. That is Patti Piburn. You hear chiming in there. My lovely cohort. Depending on where you live in our broadcast area, you may actually catch Patti on the morning news. Mm-hmm. Let's see, if you're in Santa Cruz, Monterey counties, San Benito County, I believe, as well. San Luis Obispo and Santa Barbara counties. It's a big chunk.
Yes.
From the Ventura County line all the way up to Silicon Valley, just about. You can see Patti Monday through Friday on your local CBS affiliate.
Indeed, 5 to 7 a.m. CBS. And then again, we are replayed on the Fox affiliate in those markets as well.
Oh, so it's like a nonstop Patti. And then you get a break from her on Saturdays.
Yes.
And, then
and I'm back.
And then you're back again here. So this is the number one place for Californians to come together to talk about current trends in food, beverages, travel, and tourism. And it's our goal to give you the tools you need to enjoy life's pleasures in a healthy, sustainable, and community-focused manner. Now, straight ahead on the program today, we are delving into the link between alcohol and cancer. And we'll speak with the doctor behind a recently released study from the National Cancer Institute. I was on the San Francisco Chronicle's website today, which is sfgate.com, and I saw that their number one story, off to the side, it'll say like most viewed, most, this.
Right, most popular, whatever.
Yeah, their number one story is this.
Interesting.
The link between
I can see why.
Alcohol and cancer, yeah. And so, we like to highlight all the fun things in life, but sometimes we got to tell you some of this stuff too.
Well, you were saying sustainable, so we want to be
we want to sustain.
We want to be here to have fun as long as possible.
I don't know that we really want to hear what this doctor has to say.
Probably not.
No, but his name's all over the news, and he's nice enough to join us this morning to delve a little deeper into the study beyond that headline.
Right.
Also, we've all heard about the benefits of sourcing honey locally. A lot of people say it helps with your allergies. And we, of course, love for people to do anything local. Well, there is a new startup here in California that helps you do that, helps you connect with the local honey producers in your area. If I understand their business model correctly, am I on track with that?
That's my understanding. And of course, we will have one of the co-founders in studio to clarify that.
To talk all about it, find out where they are, what they're doing, and I believe they're expanding. And the top California restaurants, from romantic to bargain, we'll get the latest list. See if your favorite spot is included. There's a newish travel website called Gogobot. .com, and founded by this guy who's the founder's joining us, and they're going to go down the list. California just dominates this list of restaurants, and then they had a list that came out last month of the world's top bed and breakfast and inns, and our very own Central Coast Madonna Inn made the number one slot.
That's right. I remember that.
I went and had a cocktail in their bar the other night on Wednesday night when I picked my friend up at the airport who's visiting from out of town. And I hadn't been in there in a long time, and I always just forget how...
the atmosphere?
Yes. How garish it is, or what, on purpose. It's purposely
right, intentional, because it's from that period.
Yeah, and it's... But the bartender was really nice, and hardly anyone was in there, though. It was off time. We went there kind of late. And
you had the place to yourself.
Had the place, yes. A couple of tourists from Britain was about it. So we'll be doing that this hour, and then next hour, we will be speaking with nature photographer Ian Shive. He's fantastic about a new project that he's doing, and he also is teaching some photography classes, and all the proceeds go to the Channel Islands Institute.
Very nice.
Yeah, and you get to take the pictures out in the Channel Islands. So how fun is that? And That's awesome. Speaking of that area, touring the central to Southern California coast in terms of restaurant hopping by boat. Yeah, some of the best restaurants to hit that happen.
boat.
Yeah, that happen to have a dock where you can like pull up and
I love it.
and do that sort of thing. And then we'll explain at the end of the hour. You may have heard some commercials for our California Love website. We'll explain what that is and why now is a good opportunity for you to FREE place your business listing on our site. And if you qualify, if you're a locally owned company that cares about the health of California, then hop on it and get on there. All right, Patti, it is that time in the show where we get to learn all the news that's fit to print or fit to broadcast, I guess. And it is time for Patti Piburn and the news.
The news that's fit to speak from the Eat, Drink, Explore news desk on this Sunday morning. Getting your children, listen up, parents, getting your children to eat their vegetables may start well before they visit the dinner table. A new study shows babies are more accepting of foods their mom enjoyed while pregnant and also get a taste for new foods through their breast milk. Researchers at the Monell Center in Philadelphia say babies are hardwired to like salty and sweet tastes, so to get them to easily adjust to eating more bitter items like vegetables, they need to be exposed during gestation as babies through their mother's milk. A new study released by the National Cancer Institute shows alcohol consumption and higher cancer rates are heavily linked. This is what Randall was talking about just a few moments ago. This research shows even moderate use may substantially raise your risk for getting the disease. However, how alcohol plays a role is not yet clear. So stick around for our health and fitness segment that's coming up next. We'll be speaking with the study's author, Dr. David Nelson, and get to learn more right from the source.
I'm excited to, well, I mean, I don't want to hear it, but
it's important information we should hear.
And we get to hear it from the source. Pretty impressive.
Indeed. Mm-hmm. All right, all you bakers out there, listen up. The California Raisin Marketing Board and American Institute of Baking are recognizing and rewarding professional and student bakers for creating original bread products featuring, of course, California raisins.
I want to hear that. I wish we had the music in the background. The Heard It Through the Grapevine song.
I know, that would be perfect. Well, you heard it here. The winning entries will receive a 5-day trip exploring California, and that includes tours of Yosemite National Park, as well as the Culinary Institute of America in Napa Valley. And the categories for entries are Best Commercial Raisin Bread, Best Artisan Raisin Bread, Best Breakfast Item. You can enter at calraisins.org, and you have until July 1st of this year to perfect your recipe. All right, bakers, get to work.
You can be a student baker.
Bakers, start your ovens.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have to be a professional. All right, plenty nowadays for Chicken Little to scream about. Remember?
The sky is falling.
The sky is falling. Everyone thought he was crazy. Well, the series of meteor and asteroid events are making headlines this weekend. The most dramatic, of course, by far, the bright fireball explosion over Russia. That, according to reports, that was amazing to see. Reports from the region, it injured hundreds of people. Scientists are now boosting their estimates on the size of that meteor to 55 feet across, as large as 10,000 tons. The Bay Area, of course, had its own close encounter with an extremely bright meteor that lit up the sky just before 8 on Friday. NASA says neither event is related to that asteroid it's been tracking, which is now speeding away from Earth after a relatively close passing within just 17,000 miles. That's close when you're talking about outer space.
Right. Put it in comparison with the moon, for instance.
So, roughly, this event happened about the same time as that event in Russia. They say there's no link there. And by comparison, the moon, Randall, more than 13 times that distance, 17,000 miles away from Earth.
Right.
Woo!
Another nice day today, Patti.
Indeed. Sunshine, mild temperatures, and chance for cooler weather and rain on Tuesday.
Well, we knew it was coming. All right. Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, everyone. Stick around. We will speak to the author of that study on the link between alcohol and cancer. California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CAluv.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CAluv.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool. Hey, farmers market fans, listen up because we're launching a new show just for you. Join the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network each Thursday evening from 5:30 to 6 for a healthy dose of recipe sharing and food news. We broadcast our show live from the historic downtown San Luis Obispo Farmers Market, but the information shared is designed for anyone who has a love of fresh, seasonal produce and locally made artisan treats. So whether your favorite market is located at San Francisco's Ferry Plaza in downtown Santa Monica, or if you're simply a member of a CSA, you'll love our weekly Market Fresh, available live each Thursday evening at eatdrinkexplore.com. And if you missed the show, follow our updates on Facebook and Twitter for links to the recipes shared, video from the show, and other great information. Eat, Drink, Explore Radio's Market Fresh, helping perfect your California flavor.
Yo, what's up? This is the Black Eyed Peas, and we're here for RAD, recording artists, actors, and athletes against drunk driving. Music is one of the most important things in our lives, but nothing is more important than life itself. So when you drink and drive, you're risking the life of yourself and the lives of everybody on the road. Don't plan to drive, just plan ahead.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit pesticidefreelawns.org. The folks who brought you this public service message. Check out pesticidefreelawns.org today.
The traditional light bulb, a groundbreaking invention in 1879. Other groundbreaking ideas from that time: the whalebone corset, the pedal-operated submarine, and the two-story outhouse. We've come a long way since then. It's time our light bulbs did the same. Visit EnergySavers.gov and learn about energy-saving light bulbs. See, these new bulbs are more efficient than the old ones, like a text message is more efficient than a carrier pigeon. They last longer, too, like how we humans last longer now that doctors use antibiotics instead of leeches. And they cut down on our energy costs, because in our own groundbreaking age of aeroplanes and moving pictures, we deserve a light bulb that saves us some cash. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
And good morning, everyone, on this Sunday, fun day. It is February the 17th. I'm your host, Randall White, joined by Patti Piburn on the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network. And this is our health and fitness segment. This is the moment in the show where we try to bring you some insight into how the food you eat and the things you drink and the activities you do.
A shot of reality this morning.
Right. How those things, fare on your health. And we are, I'm sure you've seen the headlines. It's all over the place over the last couple of days. A new study that has come out regarding alcohol's link, the consumption of alcohol, and the link to your chances of dying from cancer, not just getting cancer, but dying from cancer. Dr. David Nelson is the director of the Cancer Prevention Fellowship Program at the National Cancer Institute there in Bethesda, Maryland, and joins us on the phone right now. He's the author of this study everyone's talking about. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
So, were you a little surprised at how this story has really grabbed people's attention almost instantly?
Well, I'm actually glad that people are paying attention because that was one of the things we hope would come out of the study.
Right, and I think as I believe you've been quoted as saying, people don't like to talk about this link.
Yes, and for whatever reason that might be, it's actually not something that's new. We've actually known for several decades that alcohol as a compound is a known cause of human cancer. We just hadn't had any estimates about what the impact was in the United States in about 30 years.
So, doctor, can you tell us, is alcohol linked to specific types of cancer, or are you speaking cancer in general?
Specific types of cancer. What we did was we looked at the cancers in which there was clear consensus among scientists that there is a link between alcohol and cancer risk, and those are cancers of the mouth and throat, cancers of the esophagus and the liver, the breast, and the colon and rectum.
And so you say 30 years since any sort of updated research information on this topic. That seems like a long time for this not to be studied.
So actually what's happened is it's been studied for a long time and a lot of information has come out. There's not been an estimate for what the impact is on the United States population as a whole in 30 years.
Right.
And so while it was known in the medical research community, is it just something that the public has not been aware of? Is that more accurate?
Well, I think both are accurate, actually. Mm-hmm. I think that there has been a lot of work on specific types of cancer and these risks, so there's some knowledge about that, but I don't know that it's been heavily broadcast, even in the healthcare world, so which means, of course, it's not more broadly known in the public either.
I think the portion of the study that grabbed my attention right away was the fact that this effect is not just for people who are heavy drinkers. Even moderate drinkers, you say. There is no, do I understand this correctly? There is no safe level of alcohol consumption according to your study?
When it comes to cancer, we don't know what the safe level is. Mm-hmm. I do want to point out that clearly people who are regular, heavier drinkers are going to be at much higher risk for developing cancer than people who are lighter drinkers. But we also know there are a lot of people who drink at light and moderate levels, and so that they are also at risk as well.
So I noticed that there is a link, and you mentioned it, with breast cancer. Is this something, if a woman is concerned, maybe she has a family history or, something that would make her more concerned about her chance for breast cancer, would you say this is the person who should back off alcohol a little bit?
Well, I think anybody concerned about breast cancer should really think about alcohol and whether it's something that they want to take and consider using, because we do know that there is an increased risk. This has been quite well studied over the past 20 years or so. So it's a strategy that somebody who is quite concerned about breast cancer certainly can apply, which is those who choose to drink can choose to drink less, and obviously the lowest risk would be among people who don't drink at all from an alcohol perspective.
So sometimes we feel like we can't control what about our life may put us at risk for cancer because there's so much unknown about it. But this is a controllable thing. You can say, well, I can choose to do less alcohol, and that's like a choice that I know I'm helping myself.
Like smoking. You can
choosing to quit smoking.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we're speaking with Dr. David Nelson. He's the director of the Cancer Prevention Fellowship Program at the National Cancer Institute in Bethesda, Maryland, author of the study that's in the headlines right now regarding alcohol consumption and its link to cancer. We know that if you do it, it is going to increase your risk, but we don't know the why. Is that right, Doctor?
Well, we don't know exactly what the reason is, and that's because although there are several hypothesized ways, and I don't want to get into science talk here for you about how it works at the cellular level. There are a number of theories about how it acts. We don't know exactly what it is for each type of cancer. So different speculations and different types of studies. One of the challenges in alcohol research in cancer is that there really isn't an animal model. So it's not something you can easily study on lab mice or something like that.
Are there a couple of front runners, though, when it comes to the why? At least like speculative?
Well, there are a couple of things. One of them in the area of the combination of tobacco and alcohol use, which certainly increases the risks of mouth, throat, and esophageal cancer. That one of the things can be that The way that tobacco products are broken down also helps the alcohol act as a carcinogenic agent or something that helps cause cancer. There are some thoughts about one of the compounds when you consume alcohol. A byproduct is something called acetaldehyde, and I don't want to get into the chemical parts of these things, but we do know that that particular compound also is a known, it breaks down into a agent that can cause cancer. So that's another one of the major theories.
Because one of the things that I always wonder whenever I hear when a test comes out is, did you have a chance to look at how people who might be moderate to heavy drinkers, the other lifestyle factors that would be in their life that would also contribute to, cancer risks and that sort of thing?
Right, and so what we did for the study, which is looked at a number of different data sources, is we took some studies where they looked at large numbers of studies over populations over the course of time, where they actually control for those factors, and so that's controlled in our analyses. So they do look at issues, for example, like smoking behavior and other things. So we're pretty confident that the numbers are about as accurate as we can get.
Yeah.
So you isolated out the alcohol factor and accounted for other lifestyle factors that could be impacting the outcome.
So I'll put my science hat on here.
Okay.
And I apologize
That's okay.
So
That's okay.
There's something called meta-analysis, where what happens is it's not one study, but you combine a bunch of studies that a bunch of different researchers have done.
Uh-huh.
And so we used estimates from those meta-analyses in our calculations.
I see.
Okay, so I'm just reading a couple of little highlights from the study. This is off of the article written in sfgate.com. So people who drink more than 3 alcoholic beverages a day are in the higher risk group, but then somebody who may have less, like 1.5 drinks a day, is still at a pretty significant risk. I think for some people, they would consider just a drink or so a day wouldn't really be that alarming.
And we've actually we've had studies on this very show that indicate that like 1 drink a day might be better for your heart health.
Right.
So I guess you're sort of balancing
conflicting
things.
information.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that is confusing for a lot of people, and understandably so. So I will point out that I'm a cancer researcher. That's my area, and cancer prevention is what I do. And I know that there have been some studies out there about cardiovascular health. I do want to point out that those seem to get a lot of press and a lot of attention.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Because
because it's what we want to hear.
Yes.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth. I remember a few years ago stating that I was waiting for the first studies to come out about chocolate and chocolate being good for us. And I was so pleased when that actually happened. And then when I got below the surface and found out that the studies were fairly small, some funded by the chocolate manufacturers.
Right.
And not the milk chocolate that I love so well, but something else. So,
Always, right?
Yes, not quite so simple.
Dr. David Nelson, the director of the Cancer Prevention Fellowship Program at the National Cancer Institute in Bethesda, Maryland. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Okay, thank you.
Some of California's best restaurants, hotels, and homes are perched on steep hillsides with incredible views. But those buildings weren't just thrown there. They were placed on foundations designed and perfected by experts. Throughout much of the Bay Area, those hillside foundations were placed by S.S. Caveney Construction. With nearly 3 decades of experience dealing with the steepest and most difficult terrain, S.S. Caveney Construction is well known for being the go-to company when quality is your number one concern. Hillsides in California, as you know, are prone to drainage issues that can lead to erosion and slippage. S.S. Caveney Construction will solve those problems for you. Get a quote today by contacting the team you need. Head to S.S. Caveney, that's CAVENEY.com, and get your foundation placed correctly the first time.
Hello, this is Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and I want to tell you about my new favorite discovery, Yosemite National Park.
I recently went there with my husband and children, and we walked the trails to see the breathtaking waterfalls, admired the grand meadows, and giant sequoias. But the future of our national parks is uncertain. Many challenges face our parks today, from polluted air and water to development threats outside their borders and inadequate funding to protect our national heritage. That's why the National Parks Conservation Association recently completed a decade-long assessment of the challenges facing our national parks, along with proposed actions that will ensure our children and grandchildren will be able to enjoy the parks as we have. Our national parks have inspired Americans for nearly 100 years. As we approach the centennial of the National Park Service in 2016, please join us in helping to protect our national park legacy. Find out how at www.mpca.org.
What if it wasn't always about getting ahead? What if you didn't care about being on the fast track? What if your career goals were to change? Instead of flying off to the big interview, what if you flew somewhere else altogether? To embark on a different track, to volunteer in ways you never dreamed of, in places you never imagined yourself being. Like a tiny island in the Pacific, barely visible on a map, but where needs are easy to see. Or a village on the African continent, where just a little training in HIV awareness can change the fate of thousands. What if you decided to share your skills with others and help someone else get ahead? Peace Corps. Life is calling. How far will you go? To find out more, call 800-424-8580 or visit peacecorps.gov.
California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CAluv.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CAluv.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool. And a very good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, which means it's time for the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. We're still within the first hour of the program here. We wrap things up at 10 o'clock, and during this segment, which falls right around 8:30, we always focus on an up-and-coming company that we think is worthy of highlight, and this morning it is the Pacific Coast Honey Company. Co-founder Ruben Serino joins us in studio this morning to talk a little bit about its founding. Patti Piburn, my wonderful co-host, put me in touch with them because she did a story for the TV.
Yes.
Regarding Pacific Coast Honey. Ruben, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
And so I understand this. Pacific Coast Honey, you're not a honey company. Like, you don't go out there and make the honey.
No, we're actually not beekeepers. Instead, what we do is we source the best honeys around the Central Coast and up and down California's coast, and we work with small family-owned apiaries to get some of the best honeys that we can.
So an apiary, I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. I'm like, do I call them farmers? Like, what do I? Yeah, is it a honey farmer? You know, or a honey rancher? Here, little bee. No, but so it's called an apiary.
Correct. Yes, an apiary is essentially a bee farm, like you said, and a beekeeper is a bee farmer.
Okay. Oh, so they are bee farmers. Okay, good. I was going to put that in a little promo I do for one of our radio stations, but I didn't. I wanted to be correct.
Sure. Yes.
So how then do you source them? How do you find the different companies that you want to work with to be part of the Pacific Coast Honey product that you sell?
So we simply just go out and we contact them and just call them and taste it and it's really just a lot of old school kind of driving around and looking for the best.
Yeah.
You visit the apiaries?
I do, yes.
Yes, okay.
My business partner Errol and I, we go out and we, visit the apiary. We make sure that the process is, it retains the natural characteristics of the honey. So.
Okay, and so we see here, people who aren't in studio or watching online don't see this, but we have 4 examples. Are these basically your 4 products at this point, the light to dark?
Correct, yes. This is our core collection at the moment, and we have an orange blossom, and that comes from Santa Barbara, sage honey, wildflower, and also avocado honey, and that ranges from light to dark.
And where in the state do they come from? You said Santa Barbara for the lighter one.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
This is... the orange blossom is from Santa Barbara, and the sage, I believe, is from, Santa Barbara as well. And also, the wildflower is from Ojai, and the avocado is from Ventura.
Okay. So for the most part, like the southern portion of the Central Coast for now, but you're hoping to like hook up with apiaries up and down the entire state.
Exactly. In Santa Cruz, we just spoke to a beekeeper who has very great varietals that range from cherry to peach blossom.
Wow.
So that should be some interesting varietals that we look forward to.
And it really changes the taste, right? Depending on what what pollen the bees are sourcing.
Exactly. It's the nectar of the blossom that kind of changes the characteristics of the honey. So as you can see, the avocado is very dark, and whereas the orange blossom is very light, and it also has a hint of citrus in it. So when you taste the different varieties, you kind of get an idea of what blossom they were working with that time.
You can almost get a hint of it. Now, if you go to a farmer's market nowadays, you almost always see somebody selling honey, and they are giving out little taster samples. You're tasting just like you would if you went wine tasting, and that's the way that you have it laid out here. Does the color directly is it directly connected to how strong the honey tastes or not? Like sometimes really dark beers, you can have some light beers that are actually
very flavorful.
Yeah, like it's really strong,
really intense
IPA, and you might have like a mild, sort of chocolate stout or something. So the color isn't necessarily reflective of how strong the beer is.
No, Randall, actually, you hit it right on the point. The color actually defines, in a way, how sweet it will be. So this very light orange blossom, very sweet relative to this avocado, which is much like a stout or an IPA.
Right.
Interesting.
So can we taste the? I want to start with the light one. Can we
definitely
do a little sample of that? And while Ruben is unscrewing the cap, I want to ask him, how on earth did you find yourself as a barter of honey?
Yeah.
Were you a Cal Poly student?
No, actually, I started at Allen Hancock College, and that's in Santa Maria, and it was a project from the new venture lab, which is a program that tries to encourage entrepreneurial growth within the community and especially within Hancock.
I took a Spanish class at Allen Hancock College back in the day, but the teacher taught the entire class in Spanish, and I was completely lost. That's one of those classes I never finished. But it's a great. I think our community college system is top notch in California. Needs as much support as possible. I started off at Santa Rosa Junior College up in the Bay Area, and at any stage of the game, no matter how old you are, you can just take a class.
Yeah, and this particular class that Ruben's talking about is how we met, the story that I did, and they said they take them. What did the instructor say? 18 to 80. no age limit.
I was going to say, is there a cutoff at 80?
So yeah, I actually think they'll just take anyone who's interested in being an entrepreneur, as our friend Ruben here.
And so then you had this class that encouraged entrepreneurship. Tongue twister there. And then you just thought honey would be a good commodity?
Correct. So we were actually put into groups, and we all had kind of like really diverse backgrounds. One of the members was a chef. The other, was a beekeeper. And myself, I actually work in the automotive business as well. And we kind of like were, pitching ideas and seeing, okay, what would work. And the beekeeper brought up a really good point of saying, hey, there's a lot of honey, there's a lot of apiaries, but I want to really make them shine.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, it's kind of a interesting product. I've never worked with it before, and so actually I tried it, and that's when I was hooked. I mean,
and we see outlets for different olive oils and different olives and different wines and whatever specialty products. So it seems a natural to have an outlet like that for honey.
So would you be sort of a lot of people in our listening area may be familiar with We Olive. I know they have them up in the Bay Area
Right.
and down through the Central Coast and such, where they do that very thing. They connect up with all these artisanal olive oil producers.
Yeah.
And and then market some of it under the We Olive name, and then some of it, I believe, they market, under the individual. Right now, you're doing the honey strictly under the Pacific Coast honey name, and you don't single out the name of
any specialty product.
No, at the moment, we are branding everything under the Pacific Coast honey brand. Maybe in the future, we are looking to
showcase something special from a certain region or something.
Exactly, because there are some varietals that are very hard to find. I mean, they only come after certain environmental variables occur, or
for instance, the desert might get an exceptionally heavy rainfall year, which doesn't happen very often, but when it does, certain plants bloom that don't bloom other times.
You might be more prolific time for a certain kind of honey.
Yeah. Exactly. The rainfall is a very big factor in honey production, and also kind of how the honey tastes. So that's why Santa Barbara honeys taste differently, a little bit different from ones from the Central Valley.
Speaking of how they taste, the one you gave us was great. Let's taste the next one.
Yeah, I'm ready to move down the line, and I love that. That was the orange blossom honey from Santa Barbara County. Ruben, why do you feel it's important to source honey locally? Like, how does that help the overall picture of California and the health of our there's been a lot of focus on colony collapse and that sort of thing.
Right. So the beekeepers are a very integral part of, an important part of the agricultural system. Much as a tomato farmer is very important in our produce department, the beekeeper is actually very responsible for why those tomatoes are there.
Yeah.
The bees are very important in pollinating pretty much everything that we eat. But I mean, 30% of our produce in America is actually pollinated solely by bees, and particular to California, almonds.
Almonds, I was going to say, I know they're a huge part of the almond industry here in California.
Definitely.
Bees, those little tiny bees, do so much work for us. Sometimes people don't realize how integral they are to the food that we eat.
I really like this second one. What's the base of the second one? Sage?
This is a sage honey. It's
really good.
Very much like I guess what you think of when you think of honey. It's nothing.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, that tastes like honey.
It didn't have any like wingnut flavors or anything like that. It was very, very standard but delicious. I love it. It seems like you would maybe add a honey variety, or not a honey, almond variety to the lineup, just because the almond industry is so big here. And I've heard that the almond honey up there is really great in Chico area.
Right. They actually, you can't simply force bees to make
stick to one thing.
Exactly. It's kind of like they're kind of stubborn, and they kind of do what they want. You have to. It's a little bit of luck, great rainfall, great floral sources, but really in the end, if your honeybees don't want to make good orange blossom honey, it's not going to happen.
It's up to the bees.
Yeah,
it's up to the bees.
Exactly.
It's their business.
It is their business, right? So you are a startup. You're just getting everything rolled out right now. You have a very easy website, PacificCoastHoney.com. You've just put up the Facebook page. You are going to get on Twitter, I imagine, in the days to come here. And the big foodie communities on Twitter. It's a great place to post stuff like this.
Definitely. We actually just spent the last 3 months just working hard to repackage, rebrand, and make everything look great again.
Yeah.
And relaunch the website just this morning. So, yeah, definitely check it out.
That's fantastic. PacificCoastHoney.com. Ruben Serino, tell your business partner. We're sorry we didn't have him in here, but you did just fine representing on your own.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, stick around, everyone. Up next, California's best restaurants. You'll want to catch that. You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. California business owners entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CAluv.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CAluv.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool. Hey, farmers market fans, listen up because we're launching a new show just for you. Join the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network each Thursday evening from 5:30 to 6 for a healthy dose of recipe sharing and food news. We broadcast our show live from the historic downtown San Luis Obispo Farmers Market, but the information shared is designed for anyone who has a love of fresh, seasonal produce and locally made artisan treats. So whether your favorite market is located at San Francisco's Ferry Plaza in downtown Santa Monica, or if you're simply a member of a CSA, you'll love our weekly Market Fresh, available live each Thursday evening at eatdrinkexplore.com. And if you missed the show, follow our updates on Facebook and Twitter for links to the recipes shared, video from the show, and other great information. Eat, Drink, Explore Radio's Market Fresh, helping perfect your California flavor.
Seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit pesticidefreelawns.org. The folks who brought you this public service message. Check out pesticidefreelawns.org today.
Across the nation, people are stepping up for their mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, partners, sisters, and brothers. They're leading the way and walking to end Alzheimer's, the 6th leading cause of death in the nation. Together, we can reclaim the future. Walk to end Alzheimer's. Start a team. Join a team. Go to ALZ.org.
California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CALUV.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CALUV.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool.
You waited all week, and it's finally here. The Eat, Drink, Explore Weekly Travel Deals Extravaganza.
Extravaganza! Good morning, everyone. Great to have you with us. I'm your host, Randall White, joined by Patti Piburn, and we just had a wonderful guest on talking about Pacific Coast honey, and off air we tasted the avocado. My favorite was the avocado version.
It had a little bit of a flavor of molasses to it, especially the aftertaste, just much lighter than molasses, but a little bit of that.
Right. Delicious.
It was good.
And I just love the whole concept that they're trying to bring all these beekeepers together in the state to sell a honey that is very localized, depending on which kind you want. So
he just sent an order to Tokyo.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
That is cool. I love that. So, a good day, everyone. I'm your host, Randall White. It is time to hear insight on travel. And for that, we turn to Travis Katz, the CEO and co-founder of travel website Gogobot, which I've had a chance to explore a bit. And it's really a cool site. Travis, great to have you with us.
Hey, Randall. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you. And I when I was talking to your people, they were saying that I said, so what's new? Like, what's going on? And they said, well, Gogobot has a whole new list of the world's best restaurants, and the list is just dominated by California. So I thought, well, yeah, let's talk about that.
Great. So
go ahead.
So Gogobot it's a service that helps people discover great places to go in more than 60,000 destinations in the world. It's all user-generated content, so it's people are writing reviews and uploading photos. But different than a traditional review site, people are all mostly signing in using Facebook, using their real identities, and so you start to get a more honest look at what what these places are like. A lot of the traditional sites like Yelp and TripAdvisor, because they're mostly anonymous, you tend to see a lot of fraud there, where restaurants are writing reviews for themselves.
Does that happen?
Quite a bit, actually. More than you would actually believe. There was actually an article in the New York Times a few weeks ago, about a few weeks ago, that was talking about how they estimated almost 40% of the reviews on a site like TripAdvisor are probably fake reviews that are written.
Wow,
really?
40%? So it's actually a big problem. Yeah, 40%.
And so what? When you decided you wanted to found this website, what was your impetus? Why Gogobot?
Well, the reason I started, I'm passionate about travel. I love travel. I'm a foodie, and I found that I travel all the time, and every time I'd go to research a place online, I would find myself spending hours, sometimes days, trying to figure out what was going on, bumping from one site to another, and often I would still end up at places that were kind of mediocre. And I just felt like something wasn't working right. And part of the idea was that, I'm a very, we're all individuals. We all have different tastes and interests, and all of the traditional sites give everyone just sort of a single stack order list. This is number one, this is number two. And they're sort of averaging, the college student with, the little old lady from the Florida Panhandle with the luxury traveler from Santa Barbara or something like that, and just averaging your opinions. And at Gogobot, we thought we could do something different and actually personalize your results based on who you know and show you things that your friends like best.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, so when you sign into Gogobot with your Facebook, everybody gets a personalized list of places. So which hotels you might see in a particular town may be different than what I'll see, because we can show you places your friends have checked in, places your friends have reviewed. You can follow people who have similar travel styles. So if you see somebody writing reviews and you really like their taste, you can follow them, and you'll also discover places that they've discovered along the way.
That's great. Yeah, so sort of along the lines of like Pandora or something, the radio station sort of builds around your likes and dislikes.
Correct. It's like a Pandora for travel. And what's great is that we've built up this really awesome community of travel enthusiasts. Like, we literally have almost every Lonely Planet guidebook author is using the site in their free time when they're not writing Lonely Planet books, sharing all these cool places that they find. And you see a lot of travel journalists who are, writing for the LA Times, writing for the Chicago Tribune, are also using this as their place to discover cool things and also to share the places that they're finding. So you find a lot of really interesting and off-the-beaten track places on Gogobot.
So based on everyone's travel opinions, this wouldn't be a zeroed-in sort of list for your personal taste. This is all of your users. You have come up with a list of restaurants in various categories that you rank, from 1 on down. And I want to point out a few that I happen to like and have been to on the list. Under your most loved category, number 4 on the list is Pizzeria Delfina in San Francisco. I've had the pizza there, and it's just outstanding.
Yeah, Yeah, so this list. So we have our awards list for the best hotels, best destinations, the best restaurants. And if you want to find this, you can find it at Gogobot.com/awards. So Gogobot.com/awards, and you can sort of check these out. What's great about these? So this is based on our community of travelers voted for their favorite places, their favorite restaurants, their favorite brunch spots, and we saw, like you said, some really, really interesting things. So it's really a mix of fun places. So Pizzeria Delfina is, just this amazing pizzeria with, very awesome artisanal crust and really fresh ingredients and, sort of a San Francisco favorite. And it's not something that, you see showing up on a traditional sort of best of awards. It's really sort of a unique and special place that locals know about. People who are coming, as travelers often would miss it because it's not sort of right in the middle of Fisherman's Wharf.
Right.
But it's someplace that you shouldn't miss, actually, when you're in San Francisco.
And then another place that's in San Francisco, and this is on your most romantic restaurants, is Le Colonial. It's your number 2 restaurant. I've been there as well, and I love it. That's the one that sort of has like the Panama theme, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of a French Vietnamese place, so it's very sort of high end, Vietnamese place with a really beautiful setting, and it's a nice place to sort of go on a romantic, if you're going out on a date night or something. It's a really fun place, and it's something that's different than, just going out for an Italian meal.
Yeah.
The categories are really fun, though, because it's not just like most romantic, but you have best brunch or for families, or the cheap ones are really, you want to have something good, but you're looking for something a little cheaper.
I like that. And on the romantic list, just after Le Colonial is Shadowbrook Restaurant in Capitola, which you take a funicular to.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, which is very cool. We have links to all the lists available for you. We are speaking with Travis Katz, the CEO and co-founder of travel website Gogobot. Travis, thank you so much for joining us today, and good luck with the site. I'm going to become a member today. I'm logging in with Facebook.
All right, well, I will follow you online, Randall. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you too, Travis. All right, stick around, everyone, because just after the top of the hour, we will be speaking with a renowned nature photographer, one of my favorite guests that we have on the show from time to time, about a new, those iPhone covers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so
very cool.
That should be very, very cool. Stick around, everyone. You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. We're back in just a moment. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break, and we'll be back on the air shortly. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break, and we'll be back on the air shortly.
You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. Now here's the host of our show, Mr. Randall White.
Good Sunday Funday morning. And the sun is out here in San Luis Obispo.
On cue.
On cue, yes. The fog was in earlier when we got into work an hour ago or so.
Yeah, it was pretty intense this morning.
Our studio, which is in downtown San Luis Obispo, directly above Pete's Coffee. If you know the little breezeway, I call it a breezeway, called Court Street, that connects Monterey with Higuera. We're right there on the corner, directly above Pete's. So wave to us if you ever are down here on a Sunday morning between 8 and 10. Or if you arrive to the farmer's market on Thursday night just a little bit early, you can catch our brand new Market Fresh radio show from 5:30 to 6 o'clock. We give you all the tools and information you need to take advantage of the county's lush variety of farmers markets. It doesn't you don't have to come to the Thursday night one to listen to the show, because we have information on all the artisanal products that are being grown or produced here in San Luis Obispo County. So very cool.
Very lucky of us.
Yeah. I'm Randall White, my lovely co-host Patti Piburn there, and you are listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network here on Crush 92.5. Live radio programming on a Sunday morning.
Imagine that.
And it's brought to you this hour by our good friends at Eberly Winery. Eberly has been voted many, many times the best place to visit on the Central Coast when it comes to tours, because of their really unique complimentary wine tasting and cave tours that they have there. Eberly is located on Highway 46 East, and that is in the Paso Robles wine growing region there. You can log on to their website, eberlywinery.com. That's EBERLE winery.com for more information. And, maybe find out when the tours are leaving. Schedule one today. They open their doors in an hour, so you have time to finish what you're doing here. Finish that coffee, that bowl of cereal, whatever you might be doing, and head on to Eberly and let them know you heard about it right here on Eat, Drink, Explore Radio. So I was in Morro Bay yesterday, one of my favorite places to visit, Tognazzini's Dockside 2, TOO. It's the little it's behind everything, but it's right on the water, and they always have live music on the weekends, and it's one of those kind of fish shack places where you go up and you order the fish, and then they call out your name and you go get whatever it might be. We had some oysters on the half shell yesterday.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
And there was sort of like a pirate band playing, and I'm like, what is going on here? And then we could hear cannon fire in the distance. And then it dawned on me, we had them on the show here. Those ships, the tall ships.
They were doing a battle sail where they reenact the battles that they would have done back in the 1700s.
Right. And so you can do it again today.
Yes, and tomorrow.
And tomorrow.
While there are openings, I heard those slots were filling up pretty quickly.
Now, Patti, we had them on the show here.
Yes.
And a key piece of information was glossed over. You interviewed them for television.
And the same thing, they didn't reveal this information, but actually one of my students at Cal Poly said, that ship, the Lady Washington that's docked right now in Morro Bay, was in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
I just assumed those ships were computer generated. I mean, it's Disney and Pixar and all that kind of stuff. I didn't figure they weren't really using a ship.
In the Black Pearl, the HMS, Her Majesty's ship Interceptor, was actually the Lady Washington.
That's fascinating to me.
Isn't that cool?
And seems like from a PR standpoint
that could have been worth a mention.
they might want to mention that. Yes. But regardless of whether it has Hollywood fame or not, it's really fun to see these ships doing their thing. And you can do that in Morro Bay today. I highly recommend it. We have another day of nice weather, so no
perfect day for it
to not get out there. All right, one more hour of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio straight ahead. We've got some fantastic guests on the line, so you'll want to join us. I'm Randall White, Patti Piburn, and we're back in a moment. California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CAluv.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CAluv.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool.
You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network.
Fabulous.
Live every Sunday with the very latest food, beverage, and travel trends.
Amazing.
Now here's the host of our show, Mr. Randall White.
Good morning, everyone. Time to rise and shine. Get going, enjoy your Sunday, and we are here to give you the tools to do just that. You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. I'm your host, Randall White. Patti Piburn by my side. Good morning, Patti.
Good morning.
So far, so good today. This past hour, we had several great guests highlighting, well, the link between alcohol consumption and cancer. The author of a new study joined us. And we'll have that posted on the website later today. So if you go to eatdrinkexplore.com.
Yeah, really important information. Maybe not what we want to hear, but certainly information we need to hear.
We need to hear. And, you know, the doctor rightly pointed out that every time a study comes out on the heart end of things, the, you know...
Drink more red wine, have more chocolate.
Yeah, exactly. Those studies just get all the attention. But, you know, a study like his... it's been a while since they've had this level of media attention, but it is getting a lot of people's interest. I had mentioned earlier that when I was on the San Francisco Chronicle's website today, it is the most viewed article on their site from the weekend.
And it's understandable. So many things, so many factors about our cancer risk we can't control, like our DNA, our family history, things that are out of our control. But something like limiting your alcohol intake is something we can choose to control. So it puts us, you know, within our power to maybe lessen our cancer risk.
And as these studies come out, you know, one of the things you can't control sometimes is if the knowledge doesn't exist. If we don't know that
that research hasn't been done or hasn't been communicated.
Right. You know, like the level of X-rays over the years has really, the intensity was dialed way back. They didn't realize, you know, when my dad was a kid, they would have these machines in the drugstore where you could wiggle your toes and under the X-ray and look down at your feet and see your bones moving.
And say, that's cool.
Yeah, you know, because they didn't realize that there was this...
the radiation exposure and the risk with that. So, you know, as we learn more, we can be better.
Exactly. So he just made a great guest. And then we highlighted the Pacific Coast Honey Company, a new startup here on the Central Coast, general region, where they source from artisanal honey producers. I forget the term he uses for what those are called.
The apiaries.
We'll just call them bee farmers.
Yes.
And they really have, their goal is to source from throughout the state so that when you buy a different type of honey from Pacific Coast Honey Company, you can buy one that's possibly made right in your backyard, no matter where you live.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
In studio here, we got to taste the 4 that he's offering right now, and they were quite good.
I really enjoyed the avocado.
Yeah.
Was my favorite. And what was the second to last that we tasted?
Wildflower.
The wildflower.
Was really good.
Had like a tang to it that I really liked and I thought might be good.
Really flavorful. The avocado honey was dark and strong, but not as sweet as the lighter honey. Was much sweeter.
Then our final guest that hour was the CEO and co-founder of Gogobot, which is a newish travel website that really personalizes your search so that the hotels, the restaurants, the locations that your friends, your circle of friends like, and which probably means you'll like also,
right,
are the ones that come up highest in the list. But we did go through some of the restaurants that they have a new list of the best restaurants.
Yeah, the best of.
And so we went through a couple of those, including Pizzeria Delfino in San Francisco, Le Colonial in San Francisco, Shadowbrook Restaurant in Capitola. And then what we didn't get to and it's Sunday, so I figured we should...
Brunch.
Right, the best brunch spots. So Tartine Bakery in San Francisco came in number one for best brunch spots. But throughout the state, there's the Earth Cafe, and that's URTH, Earth Cafe in Santa Monica, the Hash House A Go-Go. I love the name of it.
Yes, in San Diego. That sounds great.
So number 1, number 2, and number 3 for the best brunch spots in the world were in California. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Number 6 is the Old Vine Cafe in Costa Mesa. Number 9, the Tower Cafe in Sacramento. I have to tell my parents about that.
I love this next one.
Yeah, Paula's Pancake House in Solvang.
I've eaten there.
You've been there. That's number 18. So
I love it. I love Solvang.
Solvang's a great place.
Yeah.
Okay, for the best family restaurants, we do have some time to list these quickly. We're only giving you the California locations. Number 3 is the Wurst Kusch restaurant in Los Angeles. I know this place. It's all German theme, and it's supposed to be kind of fun.
Sounds good. Phil's Barbecue is making a couple of the lists. Best family, and I think maybe the best loved Phil's Barbecue in San Diego. I have not been there. Been to San Diego many times, but not Phil's Barbecue. But I think it's a place I want to visit.
Right. You know, farther down this list at number 18 is Blue Line Pizza in Campbell. And the last several times I've been in the Campbell, Los Gatos area, I don't know why I've had a hard time like searching for where I want to eat, and so I'm writing this down. Blue Line Pizza. And if you're familiar with Blue Line, let me know what you think about it. You can just send me an email, Randall, RANDOL, at eatdrinkexplore.com. Okay, so coming up this hour of the program, we just summarized the last hour. Lots of great guests, including nature photographer Ian Shive. He is really well known for his documentation.
So talented.
Yeah, of the national park system. He really has a heavy focus on California's national parks. In fact, he's a big fan of Channel Islands, and will be hosting a photography class. You can learn from, I call him the Ansel Adams of our time.
Right. That's a good call.
And so you can learn from him, imagine, and the proceeds for that class benefit the Channel Islands Institute. So we'll talk to him about that, but he has a new project out. He's teamed up with his fellow nature photographers, and their goals to really highlight national parks. And you know how you get your iPhone cover? Well, they personalize it with their nature photography of the national parks.
Very cool.
You can sort of walk around with your favorite park on your... I'm not sure if it's only iPhones at this point.
Or just phone covers in general.
Yeah, because I'm looking for a phone cover right now. So, but I don't, for the first time in my adult life, I don't have an iPhone. Or within the last several years.
That they've existed.
I had that awful BlackBerry Storm years ago.
I remember that.
Remember that? Oh,
yes, I do.
The worst phone I've ever owned. But BlackBerry's out with a new phone now. I understand it's getting really good reviews. Good for them, because I don't want anything. I don't mean to say bad things about BlackBerry.
You just didn't like that particular phone.
Sure didn't.
It was a lemon.
It was a lemon. And then we're going to stick in the sort of Channel Islands area and talk about restaurants you can visit via boat.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we're going to hop up and down. We'll go as far south as Newport Beach. And as far north as Santa Barbara, and talk about some of the different restaurants that you can hit up if you,
at the dock.
Yeah, you could charter a boat, you could rent one, or if you already have one,
there you go.
The California coastline's a beautiful place to visit. So lots of great information coming up in this hour of the program. We'll also talk a little bit about tomorrow, President's Day. And there are several presidents that have California connections. And we'll get to that.
We'll learn more
later on in the hour. All right, everyone, stick around. The time right now, 9:14 on this beautiful Sunday morning. The sun is shining for most of us here in California. Hope it is where you are. I'm your host, Randall White. Patti Piburn. This is the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network, and we're back in just a moment. California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CAluv.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CAluv.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool. Hey, farmers market fans, listen up because we're launching a new show just for you. Join the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network each Thursday evening from 5:30 to 6 for a healthy dose of recipe sharing and food news. We broadcast our show live from the historic downtown San Luis Obispo Farmers Market, but the information shared is designed for anyone who has a love of fresh, seasonal produce and locally made artisan treats. So whether your favorite market is located at San Francisco's Ferry Plaza in downtown Santa Monica, or if you're simply a member of a CSA, you'll love our weekly Market Fresh, available live each Thursday evening at eatdrinkexplore.com. And if you missed the show, follow our updates on Facebook and Twitter for links to the recipes shared, video from the show, and other great information. Eat, Drink, Explore Radio's Market Fresh, helping perfect your California flavor.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disappoint?
This is Annie Lennox of Eurythmics for RAD. Please don't drink and drive, and don't drive if someone else has been drinking. Thank you.
A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Across the nation, people are stepping up for their mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, partners, sisters, and brothers. They're leading the way and walking to end Alzheimer's, the 6th leading cause of death in the nation. Together, we can reclaim the future. Walk to end Alzheimer's. Start a team. Join a team. Go to alz.org.
California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CAluv.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CAluv.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool. A very good Sunday morning, everyone, as you tune in to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network. I'm your host, Randall White, joined by my trusty co-hosts, Patti Piburn, each week. Patti, great to have you here.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
And Patti, we've had our next guest as a guest before here on this show, and also a previous version of the show that I used to do called Your California. Ian has been I just really, really appreciate his work, and he's always venturing off into new things, so
It's always fun to catch up with him and see what's happening.
Exactly. So we're speaking about nature photographer Ian Shive, who is, as I mentioned just before the commercial break, I call him like the Ansel Adams of our time. He's probably too modest to accept that title, but he's just so amazing. His work documenting the national parks is really the go-to book if you want a nice coffee table book that really shows you just the beauty of the parks that we have in this country. Ian, welcome to the program.
Thanks. Good to be back.
Yes, it's great to have you here. And you have a new project on tap now that the last time I spoke, we were both iPhone users. I dropped mine at the farmer's market the other night, and it shattered. And I've actually ventured away from the iPhone, which is a first for me. But the rest
we almost weren't friends after that, I just have to say.
The rest of the people in studio here. Right. So, Ian, you are making covers now for iPhones that feature national parks here in California and around the country.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's a really unique program because, so many people have iPhones, and we're hoping to expand the line to a bunch of other phones. But, it's tough being a photographer, especially a nature photographer or, photographers who are involved in conservation efforts, trying to bring awareness to whatever it is they might be working on in the world. And so this program, I've been working pretty quietly now for a couple of years to kind of organize my community of photographers that are like me. And we've gotten almost 500 photographers now as part of Tandem, which is the company and the banner that everybody's under. And the program's unique because half of every sale's profits go to the photographer to support them in their conservation efforts. So if they're working in the parks or on an endangered cat in Thailand, or any number of different programs, it's a new way for them to fund their projects because, it's tough, especially in this economy.
So I'm looking at your website and I clicked on the abstract section of the iPhone covers and I have one word. Wow. They're awesome. they're awesome. And
I have a new one every week.
That's cool.
My friends make fun of me because they're like, "Is that a new case?" I'm like, "Yeah, every week."
Well, it's so hard to choose, but it's really, I think, what you were explaining about how it supports the efforts and the conservation. I think people can feel really good about getting one of these because they're awesome to look at, but then to know that you're part of something is a really cool aspect.
And you'll probably have a different cover than any of your friends.
Yeah. I mean, I try to, what's cool is no one's really ever put other people, like professional photographers' images on cases. I've seen a lot of designs or there's places where you can upload your own photo. But, this is the first time where you could take literally the world's best photographers and put them on the phones. And, it's not just like a still frame. What we try to do is try and find ways where they're modern. They're sophisticated. Like my current case is, a black and white of abstract of jellyfish. And it's just like totally this black background. When you first look at it, it doesn't look like a photograph. It doesn't even look like jellyfish. But when you really look at it, you can see, oh yeah, look at that. It kind of shows how modern and how beautiful really nature can be in your everyday way. I kind of say that it's an opportunity to put nature into your hands every day, and there's not many ways you can do that.
The one for Sequoia National Park, what a great image.
Thank you.
What is it of?
It's a redwood, and the perspective and the sky, and oh my gosh, it's just...
Yeah, the stars are visible up in the sky. That's actually cool. One of my popular images.
That's one of your photos?
It is, yeah, it's one of mine.
So you said how many 50 different photographers are featured on these?
We have over 500 photographers
500.
that we represent, and there's 175 different designs that we launched with. And we're in the process of adding another 300 designs, and we plan to add as many as 150 per month. So every month we'll be adding more and more designs and getting more of our photographers' images onto them.
Ian, every time here at Eat, Drink, Explore Media that we have sort of a logo or something that we want to print some, Eat, Drink, Explore swag, we have the hardest time finding a manufacturer here in the United States that can put some of these things together for us using, recycled plastic or whatever it might be. Yeah. We spend hours, researching and trying to find just the right place. And then if we do find one, it's so prohibitively expensive that we have to rethink whether we want to do that or
if it makes sense. Yeah.
Right. What was that process like for you trying to find someone to make these covers?
Well, it was something that we kind of lucked into. I think if I set out looking for it, I don't know that I would have known where to go.
Right.
In the process, we discovered this company, and the manufacturer is Casemate. And so, these aren't just iPhone cases. They're actually some of the best cases in the world. And the coolest part about it is that, they're all made on demand. So when you place an order, at that point, we basically harness the power of modern technology to the max. The second you place an order, a file, all the information is sent directly to the manufacturer. They're all made here in the United States. They come right out of Georgia. And that's when the case is literally printed, packaged, and shipped out to buyers. And so the nice part is we don't have warehouses. We don't have storage of all these cases that we may or may not sell and throw them in the trash. It's basically made to order on demand. And so it eliminates a lot of the waste. It certainly eliminates a lot of the other, things that you can inherit when you're doing product fulfillment like this.
Ian, I think that I have or there's something wrong with my headset. Did you say that all the cases are made in the United States? I'm pretty sure there's something wrong with the tech.
That's right. Yeah, they're made in Georgia and by Casemate. And, we have different models. So they're like I said, they're the best, and they're a really great company to work with.
I don't have an iPhone, but I might just get one.
Just you can have.
I have a store. You don't have a what?
Right,
I know. We can't even talk to him anymore, Ian.
Okay. It's a bad connection, exactly. Ian, I want to talk about, we have a couple of minutes left here. I want to talk about something else that you're working on, and that is something that everyone in our listening area could take advantage of, a photography class that you're doing at the Channel Islands, if I understand correctly, and the proceeds go to the Channel Island Institute.
Yeah, a portion of the proceeds are going to be going to the Channel Islands Park Foundation. And they're kind of a steward of the National Park Service, and they are sponsoring it, but it's with Santa Fe Photo Workshops, and it's actually the first time I'm ever doing a workshop. And it's super exciting because, I love the Channel Islands, and we really put a great program together. We're actually kicking it off with a massive exhibit at the E2 Gallery featuring only the work of the Channel Islands, just my work. And then we'll get to spend a couple nights on the island with a very small group of people photographing, one of the places that I love.
Do these people have to have a certain level of expertise already? Are you taking complete rookies and novices, or how does that work?
Patty's considering her own.
I'm just wondering what my chances are.
Anybody's welcome to come.
Okay.
I think it's going to be really great. No, it's a small enough group that, I'm going to get a lot of one-on-one time with everybody. There's only 12 people in the class, and, we actually have a private chef coming out on the island that's going to be cooking campground for us. And, I think it's really about getting outdoors, enjoying it, feeling inspired by the landscape that the islands really present, and any skill level is really welcome. I think anybody can go there and get something from it.
If this is successful, will you do many more along the same lines?
Yeah, that's the goal. I mean, I have to say, Channel Island National Park, the Park Service, has been so incredibly supportive.
Good.
The goal is, if this works, we're going to keep going.
Nature photographer Ian Shive with his new project. We have a link at eatdrinkexplore.com under program summaries if you want to take a look at these iPhone cases. Really easy to find. Just click on today's program summary date and then scroll down and you'll see Ian's link there. Ian, thank you as always. Keep up the great work.
Thank you so much. Glad to be on the show. I appreciate it.
California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CAluv.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CAluv.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool.
I'm in almost every school bus and classroom. I go to school with your children. We say the Pledge of Allegiance together. You see me around the neighborhood and you tell me that I'm a pretty good kid. Well, I'm one out of every 5 children in America, and I'm struggling with hunger. This problem is closer than you think. My teacher tells me we can grow up to be whatever we want. I want to grow up to be someone who doesn't go to bed hungry. There's enough food in this country to feed everybody. Please visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help. Every dollar you donate helps provide 8 meals for kids like me, quietly struggling with hunger. Together, we are Feeding America, brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hello, this is Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and I want to tell you about my new favorite discovery, Yosemite National Park. I recently went there with my husband and children, and we walked the trails to see the breathtaking waterfalls, admired the grand meadows, and giant sequoias. But the future of our national parks is uncertain. Many challenges face our parks today, from polluted air and water to development threats outside their borders and inadequate funding to protect our national heritage. That's why the National Parks Conservation Association recently completed a decade-long assessment of the challenges facing our national parks, along with proposed actions that will ensure our children and grandchildren will be able to enjoy the parks as we have. Our national parks have inspired Americans for nearly 100 years. As we approach the centennial of the National Park Service in 2016, please join us in helping to protect our national park legacy. Find out how at www.mpca.org.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
This is Betty White. I know you don't need one more thing to worry about, but listen, high blood pressure can cause kidney damage, blindness, heart attack, stroke, and you can have high blood pressure even if you feel all right. 1 in 7 adults has it, but it's easy to get your blood pressure checked, and you can treat it if it is too high. So don't worry about it, don't ignore it, just see your doctor and check it out.
For your free booklet, visit the Will Rogers Institute at wrinstitute.org and find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network. Here now is your fabulous host, Mr. Randall White.
Good morning, everyone. How's your day going so far? Hopefully as well as ours is here in the studios. Our studios located in the cute little college town of San Luis Obispo, right downtown, off of Higuera Street. And it's shaping up to be a beautiful day here. I looked at the forecast for the areas where our show is broadcast, and looks like it's gonna be a nice day in Santa Cruz, in the South Bay, Silicon Valley. Looks like it's Monterey County, beautiful again. Morro Bay, where I was mentioning we went to, and I heard some cannon fire yesterday. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And it's those tall ships are making their way up the coast. And so that was fun to listen to. And then, of course, down into Santa Barbara County, the weather's always beautiful there, right?
Yes.
America's Riviera.
It really is beautiful.
And then one of my favorite places to visit is Ventura. And what a great coastline they have there. And so this past week, I think it was this past week, I got a note on LinkedIn. You know, there's all these different social networks.
Right.
And, you know, we'll get a lot of stuff via Twitter and Facebook, people asking us questions about the show and everything. This was the first time I had ever gotten something via LinkedIn. And I was like, oh,
cool.
So what is this? And it was a guy by the name of Tom Peterson. He is with the Yacht Club of Channel Islands Harbor in Oxnard. It was just a coincidence that we were talking about the Channel Islands with our previous guest.
Nice tie-in.
It is a nice tie-in. And Tom says, hey, you know what? We've got a really great restaurant here, and I think it would, you know, fit well on your show. You should feature us. And I said, well, you know what, Tom? I think we might just do that. Because he also suggested, how about we take a look at restaurants that are connected to the water that you can get to via boat. And I love things like that.
Yeah, it's a little different way, but what a great adventure to just go up the coast and dock up and have a nice meal. And
right. So Tom was in Florida, but he flew back into our beautiful state of California yesterday and joins us on the phone right now. Hello, Tom.
Hey, Randall. How are you?
Fantastic. I love the list of restaurants that you sent me that you plan to discuss today. I'm glad to hear that you had safe travels back from Florida. How was the weather in Florida?
Very hot, very humid, and then it started to rain yesterday.
That's why I don't live in Florida. Why we live in the beautiful Mediterranean climate that is California, and really lends itself to doing exactly what we're talking about here, visiting these different restaurants. How did you get the idea to visit restaurants via boat?
Well, Randall, it's one of our favorite things to do. I have a long background in boating, and my wife and I love cruising up and down the harbor, and one of our absolute favorite things to do is to enjoy eating on the water as well.
Right.
So what a better combination than boating up to restaurants that are right on the water, enjoy the water, enjoy the ocean at the same time.
And so, Tom, I just want to point out something for people that might be listening on the radio. I think you're probably using a VoIP line, like a computer telephone line. Is that correct?
No, actually, I'm on a cell phone.
Oh, you're on a cell phone, because we're getting sort of a RoboCop sound. You know,
weird quality.
Right, a weird quality. But I think we're still able to make out what you're saying. I just wanted to let people listening know. And so, Tom, you are there at the Yacht Club at Channel Islands Harbor in Oxnard, and you have a great new restaurant there, you were saying.
We do indeed. It's a full-service restaurant with breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and serves some amazing meals. We have some very special items that you don't see in most restaurants. And we have a chef that's very creative and has won a number of awards. That's just a wonderful atmosphere, and I looked out over the harbor, and it's a great place to be.
Yeah, it's a beautiful harbor there.
And what's the name of this restaurant?
Well, it's part of the Yacht Club. So
oh, it is okay.
Do you have to be a member?
Yes, you do, but we do allow guests and reciprocating members from other clubs to come in and enjoy the restaurant.
Okay, yeah. Tom, you're not next to a landline by chance, are you?
I am not. Unfortunately, I'm probably about 10 minutes away from the closest landline.
Okay, no, that's all right. I was gonna just sort of do a little song and dance here with Patti for a few minutes while
to see if you could call back in.
But we'll just keep it going. All right, so that's a rather large harbor there. So there's a number of different restaurants as well that you could point out. So it's kind of a one-stop shop for a lot of restaurants.
It is. There's actually a good half a dozen restaurants you can visit by water. There's everything from seafood restaurants such as the Whale's Tail, Italian restaurants like the Italian Job, even Toppers has a dock that you can pull up to, and then back farther up in the harbor is the Yacht Club.
And so Toppers has its own dock. You just it's right in and right out.
That's correct.
Okay, cool. So now a little bit closer up our way in Santa Barbara Harbor, what is your suggestion there?
Oh, love Santa Barbara. You can pull into Santa Barbara, and right there in the harbor is Brothers for seafood.
Mm-hmm. Can you say that one again?
Brophy's.
Brophy's, okay.
And I do apologize for the phone line because I can hear it too. It is kind of an odd
It's like a metal voice, but that's okay. We could figure out what you're saying. I just might have to repeat things from time to time. And then so Ventura Harbor has its own spot as well.
Ventura Harbor has a whole little village with a number of different little restaurants. One of my favorites is a Greek restaurant, but there's also a Mexican restaurant and a couple of seafood restaurants there as well.
I've been to the Greek, and you're right, it's good. I'm glad you chose that one because that's one where you can really kind of kick back there. You could waste a whole day there, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
And then if we head south, tell us some of your favorites heading towards Southern California.
Well, almost every harbor has restaurants that you can access. Some of them are easier than others. But if we go all the way south, we have San Diego Harbor. And in San Diego Harbor, there's a number of options for you. But one of my favorites is Roy's.
Roy's?
Which is connected to the Marriott Hotel.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'm almost positive I've been to Roy's. What's the atmosphere there?
Well, it looks out over the harbor, and at Roy's is kind of a Hawaiian, Pan-Asian, and fusion type of food.
Right.
Very upper scale, very nice.
Yeah, I have been to Roy's. That is a good pick there. Yeah, inside the Marriott. Right.
Correct. And then there's also Island Prime, which is a steakhouse. That's a wonderful place to go.
Island
as well.
Time?
Island Prime.
Oh, Prime. Okay.
Let's see, coming further up the coast, there's places like Marina Del Rey, pull into, although the public docks there are usually Burton Chase Park, and then you'd have to walk ways, but there's a number of restaurants around the harbor there as well.
And that's Marina Del Rey, so there is a public area, but it's a little bit distant from the restaurants.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, Tom, how much time do you spend touring around on your boat? And I'm just a little envious. I'm just curious.
I know, color both of us jealous.
Exactly. So how much time do you spend tooling around on your boat and checking out restaurants and such?
Well, it sounds like an awful lot, but I every chance I get, I'm on the water.
And you are connected, the yacht club there, right, is connected. What is the connection, I guess I should ask, to, is it pronounced Valkyrie Yachts?
Valkyrie Yachts, it's actually Valkyrie Yacht Sales.
I see.
And there's actually no business connection between the two of them.
I see.
I'm sales associate at Valkyrie Yacht Sales, which is a yacht and boat brokerage business. And then I also work as co-executive director at the yacht club.
Okay.
And the only connection with them is they happen to be in the same facility.
I get it. Okay. So that's just the connection.
Proximity.
And so people could rent through Valkyrie as well? Charter?
They can charter for the day. It's not a bareboat charter, but we have licensed captains that can take people out.
Well, that's better, because if you hit up all these restaurants where you might have a libation or two, you don't want to get behind the wheel of one of these beautiful boats. You don't want to get behind the wheel of anything. But but to have a licensed captain to take you around, it's sort of the equivalent of taking a limousine or something to go wine tasting.
Exactly.
But you're doing it on the water.
Right.
What a great idea. I think that sounds fantastic. How can people get more information?
Well, they could call our toll-free number, which is 855-825-5974.
Okay, I'll put that on our program summary and the website link.
The website to the yacht club is www.theyachtclub.us.
Oh, .us. Okay, so theyachtclub.us.
So, Tom, I'm curious, is there a ballpark amount for what it would cost someone to charter a day trip?
Well, they really range, what someone wants to do.
Yeah.
The low end is usually about $1,000, and for our boat, because they're big yachts, yachts, and they go up to $5,000 a day.
But really, when you think about
if you're splitting it with a group,
and if it's an event, that might be a fun sort of bachelor party,
bachelorette party,
whatever,
party.
right? So Tom Peterson with the Yacht Club at Channel Islands Harbor in Oxnard. Thank you for joining us this morning, and next time we're down that way, we'll have to stop in and say hello.
My pleasure, Randall. Yes, please do.
All right. Well, stick around, everyone, because just after the commercial break, tomorrow's President's Day, right?
Yes,
and
it is.
There are a number of presidents that have a connection to California. Some of them were actual Californians, and some of them just like went to college here, or that sort of thing. And so we'll run down the list and check out the association there, and also talk a little bit about getting to know your local businesses and an easy way to support those. You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. I'm your host, Randall White, joined by Patti Piburn. We're back in just a moment. California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CAluv.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CAluv.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool. Hey, farmers market fans, listen up, because we're launching a new show just for you. Join the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network each Thursday evening from 5:30 to 6 for a healthy dose of recipe sharing and food news. We broadcast our show live from the historic downtown San Luis Obispo Farmers Market, but the information shared is designed for anyone who has a love of fresh, seasonal produce and locally made artisan treats. So whether your favorite market is located at San Francisco's Ferry Plaza in downtown Santa Monica, or if you're simply a member of a CSA, you'll love our weekly Market Fresh, available live each Thursday evening at eatdrinkexplore.com. And if you missed the show, follow our updates on Facebook and Twitter for links to the recipes shared, video from the show, and other great information. Eat, Drink, Explore Radio's Market Fresh, helping perfect your California flavor.
Hi, this is Rick Moranis. You know, some people are more careful about what they feed their cars than what they feed their bodies. They know that the wrong fuel can hurt a car's performance and maybe ruin the engine. But the wrong food can have the same effect on your health. Too much fat, too many calories, and too little of what's good for you can affect how well you feel and even lead to serious illness. So eat right. It'll help you keep running smooth.
For more information, visit the Will Rogers Institute at wrinstitute.org or call toll-free 877-957-7575. And find us on Facebook and Twitter. Wayne Brady for the Will Rogers Institute.
Hey, folks, I've got something that will truly revolutionize your life. It's called exercise. It will get you from here to there, allow you to spend time with your family and meet new people, cut inches from your waistline, and improve the quality of your life. Even help improve your self-image. Sexy. So when you've got to choose between moving around or lying on the couch, choose exercise. You won't be sorry.
For your free booklet, visit wrinstitute.org or call toll-free 877-957-7575 and find us on Facebook and Twitter.
California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CALUV.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CALUV.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool. And welcome back, everyone, to the final segment here for this Sunday, February 17th version of the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. I'm your host, Randall White. Patti Piburn with me as well, as the sun is shining bright on this 3-day weekend for a lot of people.
Yes, and for some people, it was a 4-day weekend because there were some school kids who had Friday off.
That's what I understand. Yes. And
it is not fair.
It's not fair, right? Our audio guy just goes, "It's not fair." But weather-wise in California, boy, it just really played along with the holiday weekend.
Yeah, such a beautiful weekend, and today looks like it's going to be more of the same.
Right.
Really nice.
So you could, if you really want to get into the spirit of President's Day weekend, there are a number of different locations you could check out. For instance, the Reagan Library,
right,
down in
the Santa Barbara area.
Yeah, south of Santa Barbara. I think it's in like near Chatsworth, kind of in the hills.
Yeah, farther. Why can't we think of the geographic name of that?
I know. Patty's gonna. I always see her.
I'm Googling now.
Her hand hits the mouse and she's off and running. And then I believe there's a Nixon library down in like Loma Linda or Loma Linda or Loma Linda, which I think means beautiful hill in Spanish. If I have that correct, I do. I'm getting the thumbs up.
Simi Valley, right?
Simi Valley, yes.
Gosh.
But those aren't the only two presidents with a big connection to California, and I thought we would just spend a moment here at the end of the show going through the list of all the presidents.
Yorba Linda.
Yorba
Linda. For the Nixon Library and Museum.
So,
and didn't Reagan have a ranch in the Santa Barbara area?
Yeah, he did. I don't think it's too far. It was along the coast. It was on like the 101 route. Not in the San Ynez Valley. I'm not sure.
I'm looking right now. Keep talking, and I'll tell you in a moment.
Clearly, all research we should have done prior to the show, but I just have this little list of.
It's more fun to wing it,
right? This list of presidents from. It's called Californiality.com.
Okay.
And so, anyway, going all the way back to Ulysses S. Grant was a Northern California resident before he was elected President of the United States. In the 1850s, he served as a military captain at Fort Humboldt up near Eureka, as well as in Benicia, which is in the Bay Area, East Bay, on the Carquinez Straits there, just east of San Francisco. So that was Ulysses S. Grant. And then Herbert Hoover.
Can I just say really quickly, all the Grants in my family are named after Ulysses S. Grant.
You have a brother named Grant.
I have a little nephew who's Grant, and my grandfather on my dad's side was Grant, all named after the president. And I think the connection is that my grandfather was born the day he died, and so they named him Grant.
Grant. Oh, interesting.
Just thought I would throw out a little of my family history connected to.
Well, I'm so glad you did, Patti. Thank you.
Yes, okay.
How about the Hoovers in your family?
Just the vacuum.
Okay, so President Herbert Hoover was a student at Stanford in Palo Alto. That was in the 1890s. He became a mining engineer, apparently, in San Francisco, who married in Monterey. In our listening area. After his presidency, he retired in Palo Alto and donated a 20,000 volume library to the Stanford University there, where the Hoover Institution is now based.
I did not know that.
I didn't know any of that either, to tell you the truth. And then a lot of people know President Richard Nixon was an Orange County native. After his days at Whittier College, Nixon practiced law in La Habra, where the Hass avocado first was cultivated. Before becoming a congressman, senator, U.S. vice president, California gubernatorial candidate, I guess it would be, and then finally president, Richard Nixon Presidential Library, as you stated, Patti, is in Yorba Linda.
Okay, can I interject?
Yes.
Reagan's Ranch, Rancho del Cielo, or Sky's Ranch, or Heaven's Ranch in Santa Ynez.
Oh, it is in Santa Ynez.
The Santa Ynez mountain range northwest of Santa Barbara.
Right. That's kind of where I pictured it, which is sort of near Michael Jackson's.
I think it's not too far from there. You're right.
Estate. President Gerald Ford was stationed at St. Mary's College, that's in the East Bay, during World War II. His assignment was the football coach. That's a pretty nice assignment to have during the war. During his presidency, he survived 2 assassination attempts, one in Sacramento and one in San Francisco. So that would be a California connection. Afterward, he lived in Rancho Mirage as a golfer for 20 years until his death.
Okay.
Then, of course, we were just mentioning President Reagan was a Hollywood actor, of course.
He has just a couple of connections to our state.
Well, he was governor. You know,
yes,
lived
he was the governor.
Lived in Sacramento there, and then
before that, as a Hollywood star, so living his days in the Hollywood area.
Right. Then it says here that he owned a ranch in Santa Barbara. We know that's not true, so some of this stuff might...
It's close.
It's close,
yeah.
Right. Santa Barbara County. They just left out the word county.
Mm-hmm.
Afterward, he moved to Bel Air and worked in Century City. In fact, I think that home in Bel Air... Yeah. Well, I'm not sure, so I'm just not going to say it. His Ronald Reagan Presidential Library, as you said, in Simi Valley. And then finally, our current president, President Barack Obama, a former California resident. He attended Occidental College in Los Angeles during the late 70s and 80s. And then while living in Southern California, he was a student activist, poet, and his works were published, actually, in the LA Student Library magazine called Feast.
I did not realize that he was a poet. Didn't know that.
Just didn't know it.
Didn't know it.
The old, poet didn't know it thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not sure statewide what sort of President's Day activities there are. I did an extensive Google search and didn't come up with anything.
Mm-hmm.
So really, just enjoy the day off, I guess. Right.
That's about it.
When I was a kid, we got a day off in school for Lincoln's birthday, which is on the 12th, same day as my dad.
Right.
And then we got a separate weekend for Washington. Mm-hmm. And then they combined them.
Merged.
Right.
Exactly.
And they did make I think it was a 4-day when I was a kid too.
It's a big complaint for my daughter because it always falls around her birthday. And typically she ends up with her birthday being a day off from school. So she doesn't get to go to school and have that special, it's my birthday. So I never hear the end of it from her.
Have her try having a birthday near Christmas and then she can complain. Our audio guy, Anthony, goes, because this is at the end of December. So he knows what that's like. So during the show today, or in recent weeks, you probably heard a spot for our new California Love website, which is CAluv. It's super easy. 5 letters, CAluv.com. What we're trying to do right now is populate it with locally owned California businesses.
Okay.
That, in addition to just being a nice local business, they also do some community outreach efforts, or they might have installed solar panels or, whatever. Just some things that show that they care about the community, the environment, that sort of thing. And here's the ringer right here. So if you're a business owner and this falls into your realm, we'll be featuring on the show during this segment California Love businesses that have a unique something that really ties into our Eat, Drink, Explore theme. So, and we'll just pick them at random for free. So why not list your company and then possibly get featured on the radio show?
It sounds like a great idea.
Kind of fun, right?
Yeah, love it.
Love it. Plus, we're trying to test out how well the site works, so that's why we're offering it for free right now. That won't be forever. All right, everyone, you're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. Thank you so much. Join us next week right here, same time, same channel.
You've been listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program. If you missed any of our segments today, look for them online or through our free Apple and Android apps. Catch you back right here next week.